Hi Andre, and welcome to an episode. Today I will show you how the polynomials are related to pi. So we have here, this formula which tells us that square root of 6 times the product of all the prime numbers over the square root of all the prime numbers squared minus 1 is equal to pi, and I will show where that formula comes from. So maybe you heard about the zeta function, which tells us that zeta of c is equal to the sum where n is equal to 1 and increase up to infinity of 1 over n to the power of c, and that's 1 over 1 to the c plus 1 over 2 to the c plus 1 over 3 to the c, and so on. And maybe you know that zeta of 2 is equal, of course it's 1 over 1 squared plus 1 over 2 squared plus 1 over 3 squared, and that's exactly of course to the infinity, and that's pi squared over 6. And we also know the other infinite product formula, which tells us that zeta of c is equal to 1 over 1 minus 1 over 2 to the c, or times 1 minus 1 over 3 to the c, times 1 minus 1 over 5 to the c, and so on. And this as a general formula is written as 1 minus 1 over p to the c, and it's an infinite product. And if we replace the c with 2, we can say that 1 over 1 minus 1 over p squared as an infinite product is pi squared over 6, and that's because zeta of 2 is pi squared over 6. And actually 1 minus 1 over p squared can be written as p squared over p squared minus 1 over p squared, which is p squared minus 1 over p squared. And we can say that 1 over p squared minus 1 over p squared as an infinite product is pi squared over 6. And actually if we have 1 over a fraction, we just flip upside down the fractions, and that means that p squared over p squared minus 1 as an infinite product is pi squared over 6. And actually if we have pi squared over 6, to get pi we need to multiply this by 6 and we will get pi squared, and then take the square root and we get pi. And let's write that down. So actually we have all the product of all the primes squared, which is just the same as the product of all the prime numbers, and then square the result. So we have 2 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 11 times 13. I think that's enough. So all the prime numbers, actually this goes on to infinity, and all the prime numbers multiplied, and all this to the power of 2, and we multiply that by 6 to get pi squared. And actually we take the square root to get just pi, and the square root with these 2 cancels out and applies to 6 because 6 is not squared. So we have the square root of 6 times all the prime numbers multiplied, and then over, and we have here that down p squared minus 1. So actually, and we take the square root because it's the square root of this fraction, so that's the square root of this number 3 times 8 times 24, and so on. And this is where that formula comes from. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, to share and subscribe. Bye.